Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'll be discussing the 3 European Cup finals. Now maybe if you clicked on this video you probably think my title is clickbait, but no. Maybe Destiny will have a big part in PSG winning their first ever Champions League. So the reason why I say this I'll discuss after I just intro the video. We've got the 3 European Cups coming up very soon. For instance, on the 21st of June we've got the Europa League, and then on the 28th of June we've got the Conference League, and then we've got the big one, the Champions League, on the 31st of June. Now obviously let's start with the Champions League because it's obviously the biggest one there, and what I want to talk about is PSG winning it this time. The reason why I think it's going to happen is because of where it is held. So we're actually in Munich for the final, and the last 5 finals that have been at Munich, well, every time the Champions League final's been in Munich there's been a new winner of the trophy, and that can't be Inter Milan. That's why a big part of me thinks PSG will win this final. This has been a very weird year for football though. There's been many records broken and teams that have won trophies that haven't won trophies in years or never even in their lifetime. So yeah, I'm going to go with PSG on this. A big part of me wants Inter Milan to win because of Acerbi. So yeah, if you don't know the Acerbi story, then it's because he lost his dad very early in his career. He turned to alcohol and actually got over alcoholism, and then twice he fought cancer. And now he's in the final of the Champions League. It'll be a perfect way to top off his career by winning the Champions League, especially this late on in his career too. Let's talk about the 5 past winners in Munich. I don't know whether I said this has happened 5 times, but it's actually happened 4 times. So sorry if I said that early in the video. But in 1979 in the Olympia Stadium, Nottingham Forest won their first ever Champions League, defeating Malmö from Sweden 1-0. And then Marseille won their first ever Champions League over AC Milan, and they won 1-0 also. And then in 1997, Borussia Dortmund actually won their first Champions League in Munich Stadium, 3-1 against Juventus. And then the biggest one for me, because I'm a Chelsea fan, believe me, you're going to hear more about this later in the video because obviously Chelsea are in the Conference League final. But in 2012, Chelsea actually beat Bayern Munich in their own stadium in the final, even saving a penalty in extra time. And then obviously they won on penalties when Drogba became an icon. And so yeah, it's happened 4 times at Bayern Munich Stadium. Will it happen a 5th time? I think so. I think PSG are going to win this final, and I feel like the last time PSG got to the final, obviously the only other time they got to the final was against Bayern Munich, and Bayern Munich won 1-0 from a Kingsley Coman goal. So I'm thinking it's not going to be many goals in it, but PSG do score some goals. And also defensively, I'm going with a 2-1 to PSG in this final. Obviously, I love the Acerbi story too, but I feel like Destiny's going to make PSG win the first ever Champions League. And also very strange, I never thought they would do this, especially after Neymar and Messi and Mbappe left. But I guess this is what was always meant to happen. So yeah, that's what I think is going to happen in the final. I can't wait for it. So this final has a lot of hype too because of the Ballon d'Or. A lot of people are saying that if PSG win the Champions League, then Dembele is going to get the Ballon d'Or. And then on the other side, everyone's saying Lautaro Martinez is going to win the Ballon d'Or too. So let's just see what happens. But yeah, we could get a Ballon d'Or winner from this final. So now let's get onto the game that's actually tomorrow, because I'm filming this on the 20th. So it's the Europa League final, and it's an all-English final. So has there been other all-English finals in the Europa League? Yes, there has. In 1972, Tottenham actually defeated Wolverhampton Wanderers 3-2 on aggregate in the first ever iteration of the UEFA Cup final. So Tottenham has won this trophy before. Everyone likes to forget and think that they haven't won trophies, but they have. Obviously, because it hasn't happened in a long time, although it could happen tomorrow. That was the first ever all-English one. The next one actually happened in 2019 when Chelsea absolutely dominated Arsenal 4-1. Yeah, Arsenal didn't even show up to that final, unfortunately. Actually, unfortunately, no, I don't care about that. What am I talking about? I'm glad Chelsea won. It's prime Hazard too, and Giroud played really well in that game. And then now, obviously, in 2025, we're getting the 3rd one, which is Tottenham against Man U. So it's going to be Tottenham's second appearance in the Europa League final, and it's going to be Man United's third. So let's talk about Tottenham's credentials. So in 1972, they won it against Wolves, and then actually Tottenham won it a second time in 1984 against Anderlecht on penalties. And then obviously in the Champions League, they lost in the final to Liverpool 2-0 in 2019. And then obviously on the other side of things, we've got Man United, and they actually got to this final in 1991, and they lost the Super Cup to Red Star Belgrade. In 2017, they beat Ajax 2-0, and then in 2021, they lost to Villarreal on the crazy penalty shootout that went 11-10. So yeah, that was actually a crazy penalty shootout. Villarreal knocked them out. Saying that, they're actually going to be in Bilbao, so if there's any Bilbao fans in the stadium, I don't think they're going to be happy with United being there. I feel like there's going to be a lot of Tottenham fans. And then obviously Man United in the Champions League, they've won it 3 times in 1968, 1999 and 2008 against Chelsea. That John Terry slip, man. And then obviously they lost 2 finals, 2009 and 2011. So obviously what you already probably know is Man United have more pedigree, more experience in European finals and European competitions altogether. But will that matter? Because this year, they've both been just as bad as each other. There's actually some stats about this too. So with Man United, they've actually had 93 shots in the Europa League this season, which is the most out of any team. But on the other side of things, Tottenham have been a brick wall. They've had 5 clean sheets in the campaign, which is only the joint best in the competition, but you know, they still technically first. The other storyline in this final is, will Son Heung-min finally win his first trophy with Tottenham after all of these years? And the reason why I say that is because I know there's other players in the Tottenham team that have won trophies too, but Kane's won his first ever trophy over at Bayern Munich in the same year. So will it also happen at Tottenham? Because that would be kind of funny that Kane moved away to win trophies. Tottenham's ended up winning a trophy without him there, which is kind of crazy because Kane should have like bloody 5 Premier League titles behind his back by now or something, you know what I mean? It's kind of crazy it's took him this long in his career to actually get a trophy. So that's our final. What do I think the outcome will be? So being a Chelsea fan, I don't actually mind Tottenham too much, and I would really like to see Son get his first trophy because I really feel like he's deserved it. Who do I think deserved it more on the teams getting to the final? Probably Man United, although Tottenham did defeat Frankfurt on the way there, which I think is actually a much stronger team than we give credit for. I feel like it could be like a 4-3, like in the Cup, in the English Cup earlier this season. I'm going to go for a 4-3 Tottenham win. So that means that Son and Kane win a trophy in the same year, but for 2 different teams. So yeah, I'm going for a Tottenham win in this one. And then obviously in the Conference League final, we've got Chelsea versus Real Betis. We've got a beautiful story on Real Betis' side because we've got the redemption arc of Anthony, which will be kind of crazy too because we thought he was a goner, but you know what? There's something so strange that happens to players when they first... Well, actually, when they first join Man United, no, when they do join Man United. Obviously, there's some outliers too. There's some players that play really well, but I'm sorry to say this, but Onana is actually a good keeper. When he's played for other teams, especially Ajax and Inter Milan, in his past career before joining United, he was actually a solid keeper and lots of people wanted him. I don't think he's lost it. I just think it's the Man United curse. Remember, De Gea used to have lots of mistakes at Man United too, and he's a fantastic goalkeeper too. Obviously, I'm not saying Onana's better than De Gea, don't worry. I'm just saying that there's bigger problems at United. So I'm sorry, United fans. So let's get back to the Conference League. So Chelsea and Real Betis have actually faced each other 4 times in European competitions. Chelsea's won 3 times in the past and Real Betis has won the once. So in the 1997-98 UEFA Cup Winners' Cup, Chelsea defeated Betis 2-1 away and 3-1 at home, and then they won 5-2 on aggregate over the tie. And then during the 05-06 Champions League group stage, Chelsea won 4-0 at Stamford Bridge, but Betis actually managed to win 1-0 in their home stadium in Seville. So obviously it's in Chelsea's favour, but this year Chelsea are a mixed bag. Like, you don't know where they're going to get goals from at times. They usually get goals from their defence when they're scoring. Cole Palmer's been shaky. well, let's not say shaky. I still love Cole Palmer, but he's still not himself. And I know that he's going to find himself again. Caicedo's going to win us this final if there's any other player on that pitch. I don't mean in goals, but just in how he's going to break down the play. And also on the other side, obviously Betis, Anthony looks like if they get a good free kick outside the box, he's going to be taking that and he's pretty good at it. So there's lots of danger on the Betis side too. But I've got to go with Chelsea, haven't I? I don't think it's going to be that clear-cut, but I feel like we're going to pull away with this 3-1 in the final. So if Chelsea actually win this final, they will be the first team to win all UEFA major tournaments. And that would be the Champions League, the Europa League, the Cup Winners' Cup, and the Conference League if it happens. It's not that fantastic, it really is, but you know, it's something. We're doing something for the first time in history. Given it's a new competition, and if you want to win one of the competitions, you want the Champions League, but we'll take it. Meanwhile, on the other side, this is Real Betis' first ever final in a European competition, so it will mean a hell of a lot to them and the fans if they can win this, which you've got to give it to them. If Chelsea lose in the final, fair enough. It probably couldn't have went to a better team and a better story written, to be fair. Because really, should Chelsea even be in this league? You know what I mean? The amount of money that they spend, we've got like over £1 billion team, and we're in the Conference League with other teams worth like, what, like 1/20th of the amount, if even less than that. So yeah, I do feel like at the end of the day, it's a trophy, and it's more trophies than Arsenal's going to end up with this season. So those words are going to come back to bite me, I feel like, now that I've made fun of Arsenal. Thanks for watching my video, and if you like hearing me talk about football, then please think about subscribing and liking. And why don't you guys drop your predictions in the comments? I really want to see who gets the closest. It would be kind of interesting. Whoever does get the closest, if anybody does watch this video, then I'll pin you to the top. So yeah, who am I going for? PSG, Spurs, and Chelsea. Thank you. See you in the next video. Bye.